Hey everybody, welcome back to another news roundup. Hope you guys been enjoying the content channel as of late. Apologies for no videos for like 2 or 3 days now. Just wasn't really a lot to discuss, and this news roundup I was planning on releasing like Monday, but got ended up doing some stuff on Sunday and just didn't get time to record this. I usually like to record these kinds of videos like a day out because they take such a long time to edit. And this probably will take a little while to edit too because we got a lot of topics to talk about this week. So yeah, so we're just gonna cut this short, like we always do, and we're just gonna dive right on in. So, of course, coming off the weekend, we had a new release in the form of Ryan Coogler's Sinners, of course, distributed by Warner Brothers, and we got some of the box office results coming in, and not the greatest, as far as I can tell. So, according to sources, the film made a global debut of at least $63 million. And according to some research, the production costs range from around to 90 to 100 million, but I read that apparently it has amounted to 100 million. Originally, it was an $80 million production, but then rising cost collected over. I forget what it was the reason for it. I don't know if it was due to distribution or reshoots. I'm not sure what the reason was behind the cost rising, but it eventually amounted to 90 to 100 million dollars. So as a break-even point, the film would need to make at least $300 million to be considered profitable. Bare minimum, at least like 250 or so, based on my calculations. And if we're debuting only at $63 million, yeah, it's not a good opening. It really isn't. I'm just pulling up some of the statistics from Box Office Mojo because I'm curious if it actually opened in certain markets because we know about the tariffs that are happening still with China. So just curious. But as it stands, though, yeah, it's not great. It's it it's funny to me because like I see articles and they're making it seem like it's like a good thing. And there's actually people in Hollywood that are responding to it saying like this isn't good. I think like Ben Stiller said something about it on Twitter where he was like, "Yeah, how does a film that costs as much as it is, and for a domestic opening for like I think it was like 45 million, how is that a good thing?" You know. So even people in Hollywood are looking at the narrative being painted here, and they're going, "That makes no sense. What's going on here?" So, because this is not a good start at all. Like nothing about this signals a good start. Like yes, it's gotten some good reception, but it's obviously not providing as much bite. Just to play on, if you understand the movie centers. It's just not really appealing all that much. Now, it could become a sleeper hit. Like that's the only thing that I think could be a possibility. Like kind of like how Nosferatu was last year. But the difference between Nosferatu and Sinners is a lot to do with timing. Nosferatu came at the tail end of the year. I believe, last year, tail end of last year, on Christmas Day. And then you roll into January, and there's like literally nothing that happens in January. So it has this much room to collect its profits. Sinners is coming right at the beginning of summer season, where there's a ton of films that come out at once. The market expects the summer season to be their biggest point in time in terms of profits. So I don't think that a film like this is going to be sharing in revenue as much as it's going to get buried under the weight of like other tentpoles. Because we have Thunderbolts literally in like 2 weeks. And I know that that's not having strong numbers either, but still, like, it's the start. We have Thunderbolts, then we have Lilo and Stitch, then we have a bunch of other things that are coming out. So I don't think that this is going to, and there's always a drop off period on the second weekend as well. And if you're starting off on $63 million and you need at least 300 to do well, yeah, dude, you're in trouble. So yeah, so I think this is not going to end up doing well, especially seeing how it's done internationally. I think I read it was like $15 million overall that it did in the international market. So I don't know if China is involved in that equation. I don't know if they were able to make it to that market, but yeah, I don't think it's going to do well. So yeah, so I don't think this is going to be a success story for the company. I think that and I read somewhere that they kind of know that they kind of also felt the same, that they know that they're in trouble with this. So goes to show you guys again that people are just becoming more interested in familiar IPs than original content. That's just how it is. People will bitch and complain about it, but ultimately they're going to go see the things that they're more familiar with than something brand new. It's just how it is. So, speaking of Warner Brothers, this is this is something that happened a few weeks ago, but it's still happening apparently. I just heard something new about this relating to this. This is in relation to a Minecraft movie, which is doing very well. Getting closer to the $1 billion mark, probably going to be able to reach that by the time we get to May. Probably by the end of this weekend, we're probably going to get close to $1 billion. So, you know, it's been doing really well. A lot of people are coming out to see it, specifically a lot of younger kids, because you know source material, is a video game property and hits well a lot of like younger demographics. But according to multiple theater chains, a lot of the screenings for Minecraft movie have been causing great disturbances, and a lot of just stupidity, and a lot of this stems from a TikTok trend of, I guess, reciting lines that were being spoken from Jack Black's character, and based off of what he says, specifically certain lines like a chicken chalky thing, they then just lose their fucking shit. They start screaming and clapping, and apparently they also start escalating it. They start throwing their shirts. I saw one video where a dude's like throwing a chicken, or has like a chicken on hand, and he's like holding it up. It's very, very just ridiculous behavior. And apparently some of this behavior has led to police entering the auditoriums, arresting some of these kids. And some of these theater chains, Cineworld specifically, they put out a warning that basically states that you will be removed from the auditorium and that you're not entitled to a refund. So, like I said to my brother, like, I mean, it's good to see a film doing well, but it's really sad to know that this is the reason why it's doing well. It's not because people are really interested to see the movie. It's because of an apparent trend of meme-related content, like basically just that of fucking TikTok memes and bullshit like that. That's what's getting people to show up in waves. It's in the spirit of these trends. It's not to do with the actual movie. It has to do with the trends. It's just, and, just the behaviors are just, it's just, like there's nothing wrong with being excited. Yeah, there was a few people in my theater that were excited, but it was not the same thing like this. Like, a couple of kids were like, like they cheered and stuff like that, but nothing to this extent. No throwing of popcorn, causing a huge commotion, disrupting the whole fucking movie. Like, no. Like, even when the police become involved, they like mock the police. I watched one video where all these fucking kids are like mocking the police as they like arrest these children, arrest these teenagers. It's like, like, it's just the fucking generation, man. Like, these kids just have no no filter, and they just think that that's apparently just uh, acceptable. It's not. It's just stupid. It goes on your record. Just remember that. To anybody who is participating like that, just understand that goes on your record, and you will be a fucking clown for the rest of your life having to explain to someone why you have that on your record. Like, you really are a fucking clown if that happens to you. And if you're participating in this, like, really, it's just so stupid. Um, I mean, they should at least get a refund, I guess. I mean, you shouldn't just take their money like that. But, like, I would just say just ban them for, like, at least a month, or something like that. I don't know. Like, if you want to fucking go wild, I mean, fucking rent out an auditorium, right? But at least have the respect of, like, the employees. Because I saw another video, and this is all for my brother, by the way, because I don't have a TikTok at all. I don't fucking care about TikTok. He was showing me this video of, like, an employee having to work 3 hours overtime, not getting paid, by the way, just to clean up a theater. Like, it's really fucking, it's just like, just sit the fuck down, be respectful, and just don't be an asshole. It's not your theater. It's their theater. So yeah. So I mean, it's good to see it's making money, but to know the reason behind it, the real reason behind it, it's kind of sad. And I guess the director was like kind of endorsing it, but I don't think he really cares. I don't think he's really looking at how these kids are behaving. I think he's just like thinking that they're just excited and stuff like that. It's like, no, dude, they're just being a fucking nuisance. And yeah, you're making money, but maybe I think Jack Black himself actually went to a theater and said something about it, but he was still kind of being like funny. It's like, no, I'd be straight up with it, because this is just dumb. It really is just dumb. So don't do this, guys. Be respectful, and just, you can have a good time, but be respectful. So, all right, going into some Disney news. We just had a Star Wars Celebration. I was in Japan this year. Not a whole lot there. A few things here and there. There was some footage apparently that they showed for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is coming out next year. But what we did hear about is that we now know the next installment for the series after the release of Mandalorian and Grogu. Apparently, it will be Sean Levy's feature. We talked about this. This is the one with Ryan Gosling, who is attached to star in it. Now having a title, Star Wars Starfighter. It is planning out a release date for May 28th, 2027. According to Variety, Jonathan Tropper, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. He who wrote The Adam Project, which also was directed by Sean Levy. He wrote the screenplay. And yeah, so they're gearing up to hopefully shoot maybe next year is my guess. So, but I mean, it's good to see that they're finally making progress, on trying to bring back this series to the big screen. But knowing of like all the announcements and developments of like projects over the years, for this to be the one that breaks the cycle, it just kind of shows you that Lucasfilm had very little faith in what it was they were making with other things, and how just scattershot they were. Like, nothing was really firm with that studio. It was just like a bunch of ideas thrown on a wall, and it's just like, okay, well, if we get to any of these, sure. But then Sean Levy comes along, basically someone who's a relevant name, someone with a current box office draw, because Deadpool Wolverine went off to be, a $1 billion thing. That's what then pushes another feature off the ground, so I don't know. That's like, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's like, okay, that kind of just shows how, that just tells me the state of your studio, to be honest. So, um, but it sounds like a reinvention of Patty Jenkins's film. What was her? I think it was like something Star Wars Rebel something Rogue Squadron, right? I think that's what it was. Um, it sounds like something like that, like a reinvention, because I'm pretty sure that film's dead, right? Because I swore I heard it was dead or it was like not moving forward, but we'll see how it unfolds. I'm pretty Star Warsed out, so I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Makes me wonder what's happening with other films, like with that Ray film that they said that they were starting to work on, but I guess they're rewriting it. So who knows, man? Star Wars is just like in not a great spot right now. So we'll see how this film does. If it even if it because you can't really trust Lucasfilm when it comes to like their release schedules. Like they'll put out a date for something and then all of a sudden it can just get canceled or delayed. So we'll see if this comes out on its release date or if certain developments take shape. But we'll just have to wait and see. All right, let's talk about something interesting in regards to LA. Los Angeles. According to Deadline, there is apparently a downfall of active film productions operating in Los Angeles. According to the article, the amount of active film productions operating in LA have fallen down by 22.4% from the first quarter of this year. So just from this quarter alone. So yeah, now some of the causes they're saying for the decline are being attributed to the wildfires, which occurred earlier this year, which leveled some notable areas outside of the city. But according to Film LA, which is a film office based in LA, the wildfires apparently had little effect on the film TV productions in the LA area. So, I mean, it didn't affect the city, outside areas. That's a different discussion, but city related stuff, not really. So not completely true, but, but according to it's talking about like, the reasoning, like, oh, the wildfires are the reason why things are not moving forward. It's like, it's not really the reason. According to the same article, the annual decline for active production had increased to nearly 58.4%. So it was a decline that kept on building and building and building. And this is a range from the years of 2021 to 2024. The highest that this decline got was so far 58.4%. So, yeah. So, according to Film LA, back in April, back in April of was it last year? I want to say it was last year. The utilization of sound stages, from last year. The big sound stages, of course, that they use for, many, many big projects and stuff like that. It had a sharp decline of nearly 63%. The highest being the second quarter of 2024 in terms of an occupation rate, in terms of people actually utilizing these stages, it was around 67% during the second quarter of 2024. Now, from 2016 to 2022, it held a occupation rate of 90%. So it was being used, like crazy. Everybody was pretty much using it, or at least a majority of those stages were being occupied by somebody. By 2023, it dropped to 69%. So there was a sharp decline from 2022 to 2023. Now, according to Film LA, per Deadline, 2024 was the second least productive year for production, that behind the pandemic years. So, there's a huge illustration that Los Angeles, in terms of a place to shoot, it is becoming less and less of a option. And the reason for the decline is a simple one. We know this. It's getting more and more expensive to shoot in LA. That's how simple it is. It's one of the richest cities in the world for the worst reasons. It's becoming a place basically for the rich, and it's less for an average citizen. In that, the access for material and to shoot around the city, it's more costly than other regions that studios can take advantage of. Hence, why you're seeing more productions operate in areas like Mexico or the UK, because their rates and their costs are probably a lot lower compared to operating in the city of LA. So that's the reason for it. It has nothing to do with the wildfires. I mean, it partially does, like very, very little. Like, does it actually be attributed to it? And even Film LA will admit to that. It's everything to do with just how costly that city is becoming and how difficult it is to live in that place and to operate in that place. So, there's a reason why a lot of celebrities are just leaving that city too, because they can't even afford to live in that area anymore. It's just becoming very expensive. I think like Mark Wahlberg, right? He like left from LA to like Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a place that will be exclusive to a specific kind of rich folk. And eventually it will price itself out. And studios can't afford to be paying in large amounts to simply film something. They just can't, So, yeah. So that's the reason why. And that's why you're going to see a lot more stuff shoot elsewhere. Because currently it's just too expensive to be shooting in LA right now. It just is. So. Alrighty, we have a couple of trailers to talk about, so let's just get into it. So the first trailer we're going to discuss is the official trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps. We talked about the teaser, and I pretty much didn't care about it. And, acknowledging just the interesting variety and aesthetic. I mean, I think I said that in the last discussion about it, that I think the aesthetics are interesting. And yes, the obvious point in controversy, the whole gender swapping thing, which, yes, is weird. I don't understand why they feel the need to do it. I know it's from the comics, but that sounds more like an escape code to me, not a actual legitimate reason to make that person the way they are. I just don't see a lot of appeal. Like, I really don't. I honestly, like, I actually am considering to see Thunderbolts. Not, like, I know, like, because I've kind of wrote off Marvel for a while, but I don't know. Like, I guess just to get some idea of like you ever step away from something for a while, like you don't eat something for a while, and then you're like, you know what, let me try that again, just to see how it was. And maybe the taste is not as bad as you thought it was, or maybe the palate wants to revisit some old areas, some old grounds. It's kind of how I'm feeling right now, just to see how things are. And Thunderbolts might be like an interesting place to be for me, kind of a stepping in point. But yeah, I've heard that basically the idea for this film is that the characters retreat to another universe. Like, their universe basically dies and they have to go into another one, which is how they end up in the MCU. Why not just have them all in the same universe? Like, why did we have to go through that? It just feels like a very thinly crafted way to give significance to these characters. I don't know. Between these two, I honestly feel like this film is more suited to be something you put at the beginning of the summer, not at the heart of it, because this comes out in July. Thunderbolts comes out in May. I would honestly think you put Thunderbolts in July. I think that's more appealing, I think, than this will probably be. because I just don't see this as a big draw. Like I know there's people like fans who will sit there and be like, this is like the best version of the Fantastic Four that's ever going to come out. Like, it's not that hard of a hill to climb, like the other films are not that great. I haven't seen the Chris Evans ones. I did see the 2015 one, and that one was not good. Um, so I just don't know if there is a appetite for another Fantastic Four. I don't think there is, and I don't think a Marvel Studios logo is going to change that, especially nowadays. Marvel Studios is not really holding much water as it used to. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I don't have much care to see it personally. So. All right. Next trailer we're going to discuss is a little short teaser for a film called Eddington. This is Ari Aster's next film. Of course, Ari Aster, kind of a notable name. Did a lot of films for A24, specifically films such as Hereditary, which I have not seen, Midsommar, which I liked, and Beau is Afraid, which I also liked. I know a lot of people didn't really love that one, but I thought it was alright. This stars Joaquin Phoenix once again, because he also starred in Beau is Afraid. Emma Stone, Pedro Pascal, and Austin Butler. And this comes out on July 18th, 2025. And this appears to be going for more of a political landscape. It's gonna be strategical because it's gonna be exaggerating a couple of political ideologies and stuff like that. It's being centralized in Texas, so I'm very curious as to what they're gonna try to portray here. Probably gonna portray a conservative viewpoint, and they exaggerate those views. I don't know, but here's the thing: clearly it's establishing a political landscape, specifically within the time of the pandemic. It's hard to gauge if the narrative won't just fall into like self-serving type attitudes, or if it will have a universal idea within the framework of politics. Like, I'm kind of iffy on this. I don't know. It really depends on the execution. Obviously, I'll be seeking it out because I like the talent involved here. But I don't know. That pitch is just a little. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that pitch. I'll need another trailer to sway me because that it's just such a small tease. So like I can't really gauge, but just getting an idea of what the story is, like I don't know. I'll have to see, because political discussion in film is very peculiar. It really depends on what you think of those politics in some regard, because of how the filmmaking services those viewpoints. So we'll see. I'll just have to see another trailer. That's really all I can say right now. So we got the official trailer for a film called The Phoenician Scheme. I think that's how you say it. This is Wes Anderson's next film. Has an all-star cast: Benicio del Toro, Mia Therapelton. Sorry, I butchered the hell out of that name. Sorry. Michael Cera, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jeffrey Wright, Bryan Cranston, Riz Ahmed, he was awesome in a film, Sound of Metal. Really, really good performance. Of course, Wes Anderson's back, written and directing. Of course, did films such as Grand Budapest Hotel, Isle of Dogs. Most recently did Asteroid City, which we reviewed. Wasn't particularly crazy about that film. This comes out May 30th, so pretty close, about a month from now. So it's what you expect from the name Wes Anderson. It has, at least to me, its good sides and its bad sides. Aesthetically, I always find his filmmaking interesting. I always like his very like specific framework, how he places, how he likes to centralize his framing. I always find that interesting. It's distinct. I think it's pretty distinct in characteristics. It doesn't really break away from that formula. Like, he doesn't really like to break away from it, which I understand can turn off some people because it's basically visually kind of the same sort of films being played out over and over again. Um, it doesn't really bother me because I feel like it's just more of a distinction in style, but not really not really interfering with the storytelling. So, but storytelling wise, narratively speaking, what's being presented here, it sounds interesting in concept, like this idea of uh, like this idea of someone. I think they're like faking their own death or something. Because here's the thing, like the trailer doesn't give me the impression of what I read up on what the synopsis was. I kind of forgot what the synopsis was, to be honest, but um, I think it gets a little messy, especially by dialogue. Like, because problem with like a film like Asteroid City was that it was a very wordy type of thing, and I I don't mind wordy stuff, but it's like a lot of the time it just felt like it was kind of chasing its own tail. You know, it didn't really feel like it was moving forward a lot. Um, and I kind of feel like this is going to be the same thing where it's not really progressing and it's just going to be kind of chasing its own tail. So I mean, I'll still check it out. I like Wes Anderson, so he's kind of a hit or miss for me, but I appreciate his ambitions, even if visually it's repetitive. I think there's a charm there that's worth looking into. So I'll check this out. Comes out May 30th. Yeah, so pretty soon. So yeah. So I'll give it a look see. I think it looks interesting, or potentially interesting. So all right. We now have the official trailer for The Life of Chuck. We talked about the teaser a little while ago. This is Mike Flanagan's next film. Comes out on June 6th. Now we have a more a fuller trailer, and now with a better look, and now with that the tone of the teaser being validated, now I can now say that I'm interested in this because I like the kind of reflective manner that the film's taking, this very individual journey of, you know, life itself, moments that shape, you know, and kind of forge our own paths. I like that. You know, I like this very kind of easygoing but kind of meaningful approach. Very distinct from Stephen King type of novels or Stephen King adaptations, I must say. My concern is that it may become like there's potential for the story to become expansive because based on what I saw from the trailer, there's like other people that might participate in this journey and we may have to invest into their own stories. I kind of just want it to be centralized on one person. Like, I want it to be about specifically Tom Hiddleston's character. You know, because I think it'd make for the ideas to feel more personal and more well established, because otherwise it feels like we're kind of just now kind of floating with ideas and not being more solidified within one specific person's story. So, I mean, either way would be fine, but I feel like it would not really work in that way. That's just my feeling on it. But I'm definitely interested. Definitely want to take a look. Definitely want to be on. Definitely will be on the lookout for this. So, comes out on June 6th. So, I'll definitely be checking that one out. That one looks kind of neat. So. All right, and we have a teaser for apparently a surprise film that just kind of came out of nowhere. A film called Predator: Killer of Killers. Horrible title, by the way. I just am going to say that right off the bat. That title. This is being directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who, of course, directed Prey. And he's directing the upcoming Predator Badlands, which is also due to come out this year. So there is I think we talked about this where he was saying that there was another Predator film coming out this year. This is that other film. So it's an animated feature, and comes out on Hulu only June 6th. And I appreciate I like the stiffer form of 3D animation. Like it's kind of trying to replicate the manner of 2D, but it's it's presenting it within a 3D format. In a visual front, it's kind of neat, but I don't really care. I just don't. I don't care for Predator. I've never really cared. The original to me is very cheap and just mindless. Like I don't care. For Prey, also, like I didn't care for the story there. So I really don't care. I really don't. If you have any interest in Predator, I mean, I think this might interest you because the series, as far as I know, has never gone animated before. So a different aesthetic change might be interesting, I guess. But that's really about it for me. Like I just don't really care. It's not really for me. So hopefully it's for you, but it's not really for me. So. And lastly, we have a teaser for a film called Him. This is starring Marlon Wayans, as well as Tariq Withers, I think that's how you say his name, Julia Fox, and Jim Jeffries. I think that's how you say his name also. This is being directed by Justin Tippin, who did a film called Kicks back in 2016, I think. This has a release date of September 19th, 2025. It's being produced by Jordan Peele and his company. So, as per my interpretation of the trailer, like by the footage, and also reading the synopsis, it's presenting a psychedelic and basically a strategical form of like obsessive behaviors. Commitments needed to like rise to the top, like it's essentially if Whiplash was about football, drugs, and potentially cults. So again, sounds neat in concept, but by general quality, I'm not getting a whole lot. I think it comes across less than the sum of its parts. It doesn't really feel, by general just execution, it just doesn't feel like it's really holding itself together. It just feels really mediocre. Like it's something more interesting by discussion, but not by overall just presentation. So not really much for me. I appreciate the approach. Like I appreciate the idea, but I don't think it really is translating that much for me. So yeah. So don't really care. Don't really care for that either. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts for this week, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for again just some of the lacking of just content lately. Just wasn't a whole lot to discuss, and just got busy with a couple things here and there. But yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on all these trailers. We had a ton of trailers this week. Some from a few weeks ago, but I just didn't have enough stuff to talk about, so I just threw it into this news roundup as well. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts on all these things, about just some of the trailers, how you feel Sinners is going to perform in the next few weeks, the stupidity with the Minecraft movie, new Star Wars film, LA stuff going kind of just plummeting with production rates. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.